Yeah, so thank you all so much for participating. This is kind of something new we're trying, just to kind of get some products out there and get some feedback on them. So we do really appreciate all of you being willing to participate and give us your honest feedback. In the interest of time, I think we will just kind of dive right in. I'll kind of start so that you can, hi Erin. I'll kind of start so that you can kind of get an idea of the sort of feedback we're thinking here, and then we'll just let you guys kind of tell us what you think. So I'll start with
and be really honest. Like this, nothing's going to hurt our feelings. We didn't make these. We really want your feedback so that we can help other customers. So
yeah. So I'll start with my favorite, and quite honestly, the only reason it's my favorite is because it came with a straw. I'm a big straw person. So I liked this one. I think the color is really fun, and the feel of it is pretty nice. It fits in my hand pretty well. I didn't really try the slider lid too much because it had the straw in it. And really, I didn't have any complaints about it. Like I said, it was my favorite. So did all of you get a chance to try this lovely little piece here? And what did you think of it?
I can start. Yeah, this is actually my second favorite, but I really, really liked it. And I actually tried it out with two people in my family. So I have a teen, an older teen, and my husband, who travels back and forth to his office. Both of them loved it. So it was easy. At first I thought it was kind of big, but you know what? It was perfect. My daughter had it. She liked iced coffee in it. It kept it cold. My husband liked hot coffee in the morning. He said by the time he got to his office, like 30 minutes later, it was still warm, hot. And then, of course, we use the straw for different things as well. So, yeah, this is probably my second favorite. But I really liked it. And it fit in the car. It wasn't too big. I love the color, too, by the way. I like the orange. So.
Cool.
I'll jump an echo behind you, Melinda. So I am a lukewarm coffee drinker. So some of these kept my beverages just a little too hot. But I thought the color was fun. It felt comfortable in my hand. I didn't realize that this was the one with the straw. I put the straw with a different one. So I loved the straw, whichever one it went with. I liked the straw. I think if I were going to use this one, I would probably do iced coffee, or if I was going to pack a coffee for later in the day and just wanted to keep it super hot until that point in the day, like this would be a perfect, because sometimes I do that for work. If I know I have an afternoon meeting, I'll pack an extra cup. And I will say the only other thing, it was a tight fit under the Keurig because of its height, but it held a lot of coffee. So you got to pick your battle, right?
Yeah, right.
I just have two things that are kind of like nitpicky. The one is I'm not really a straw user, so I thought the lid was really a good lid, and I didn't really need to use the straw. I know there's some that are made where it's kind of like if you don't use the straw, you're not getting a lot of benefit from it. But this one, I didn't really see the need for the straw, but the straw, I guess, would be an added bonus for somebody who would like it. And then with getting the lids on and off, this one was sort of on the harder end because I noticed the little ridge on the back was a little smaller than some of the others that had a more pronounced ridge. So that was a little, but otherwise, maybe getting the lid off being hard was why I kept things, pretty cold and warm. So, and like some others said, I did feel really comfortable in my hand, and the size, it was the first one I tried because I thought it looked a little different in the size and I wasn't sure how I was going to like it. And I did actually really like the size of it. So
just to echo everything too, that it didn't seem, it's heavy, but it's not so heavy that it would like tiresome, because sometimes larger cups are actually just heavy to drink because once you put liquid in, it's even heavier. And I know for our company, we actually, when we start, everyone gets a water cup because we have a water dispenser at work. And so this would be like a nice one for that, especially in the office. Like this is your designated kind of like water drinking cup, especially because we have the larger like knockoff Turvesine type one with a straw. So anytime you can have a straw around a keyboard, it's usually a little bit safer because I moved many keyboards in my day. So I definitely like that. I thought of it more of a water cup / like ice drink. I did use it for tea and stuff, which is fine, but I don't usually drink that much hot stuff at once. So, but I think it's a good cold alternative. And I don't know if it comes in different colors. I would never purchase it in orange personally because I'm not from Texas or Tennessee. Is it orange? So if it came in different colors, I think it'd be a winner. But like the orange is cool, but it's nothing that I can see us ever buying. So
Yeah. Luckily, it does come in a variety of colors. We were trying to choose different ones, mostly so we could designate like, okay, let's everybody get out the orange drinkware. And
Yeah.
How I took my notes. Orange one, Tuesday.
yeah.
Well, I'm kind of like Jason. I thought the lid was a little bit hard to get off. The first thing I did with all of them was run them through the dishwasher. And sometimes when you do that, the lids don't fit as well, but this one still fit really well. It was just a little bit hard to get off. But I did like that this one, the slide thing didn't leak as bad as some of the others. Because that's a big thing for me because I am constantly knocking things over, or I'll put it in my car and it falls off on the floor or something. So it did leak, but it wasn't as bad as some of the others.
I did like the size of this one. I liked its height. In my vehicle, my cup holders are actually kind of low. So I do prefer one that's a little bit taller like this one. So it makes it easier for me to take on the go. It's not too big in my hand when I'm holding it. So I thought this one was a good one. I don't drink my coffee really quick. So I'm not really a good person to ask if it held its temperature good or not, because when it comes to me, I don't really have good luck with that. But I thought, drinking it through the day, it held its temperature pretty well. But the opening and everything, I thought it was pretty easy to use, and it is a little difficult to get it to slide up, but I can pop it off with two of my thumbs, both. So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Rhonda, do you want to choose the next one?
I'm going to choose the white one. Only because this
Get open.
Yes. Okay. How many of you took forever to figure out how to get this thing open?
Yes.
I
Yes.
knife out of the drawer and I was trying to pry it open with a knife and finally figured this little snap. I hate this lid. Like I hate this lid more than any lid I've ever seen on any ever. So, and like I can't even get it open now, and I couldn't get it shut. So I like that it's screwed on. I didn't test to see if it leaked. I don't know if it leaked or not, but
Darren said it didn't.
It does not.
Well, at least that's the kind of cup that I was like, that's the mom cup you throw in your purse when you're going somewhere type thing. Because that's the only one I felt I could actually take somewhere when I was going somewhere and I didn't want to spill on myself. But that one should come with an instruction on how to open the top.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know that it doesn't leak. So maybe this has a purpose. But I feel like this is one you would have to, like, if you're going to give it out to employees or something, you'd have to tell them like how it works. It'd be difficult to give out like a trade show or an event where you're not going to be able to talk to everybody.
It should be part of the interview. If you could open this cup, we'll hire you. That's
Right.
our onboarding, right? So
yes. So I like the fact it's screwed on, but that's about all I have to say about that one.
I'll say for me, I liked the color, I liked the white, but it was too small for me in terms of my morning coffee. I struggled with the lid. I did save it for the day I work at home so I could go refill my coffee. But yeah, it was probably my least favorite.
Okay.
Me too. I found the lid really difficult to kind of figure out. didn't really like the shape. I thought it was kind of nondescript. Yeah, I got frustrated actually with it. So my teen showed me how to use it, and it's that. It's like my least favorite out of all the mugs. Sorry to say.
Yeah, I would say it's my least favorite as well. I did try hot tea in this one, and I will say it did keep it really hot for at least a half an hour. You know, it was still too hot to drink about 30 minutes later. So
Oh, wow.
maybe it's because the lid's screwed on and you can't even open it, you know, maybe that's why. I felt that it was, you know, its texture is kind of like the orange one that we just talked about, but the orange one felt better in my hand. This one felt really small, really smooth, like I could drop it easily if I was carrying it. So, and then like Melinda said, since it's kind of nondescript, if I took it to, you know, get approval to purchase it, I don't know that they'd be like, oh, we're just kind of getting that. There's no texture to it. There's nothing flashy about it. So that's probably another drawback as well.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I definitely agree. It was my least favorite, and appeal for appearance. I just don't really. If I'm being honest, I don't really like the way it looks. It's just not friendly on my eyeballs.
So I might as well go last, so I disagree with everyone. So for us, we're tea and espresso drinkers in our house. So that's actually the one that my husband's been using because it is an espresso kind of like, you know, whatever size. Not good for, I think, everyday coffee drinkers, but for more of the specialty coffee drinkers and tea drinkers, it's a much better size for those things. And for me, it looks like the ones we already have because of the different coffees that we drink and whatnot. So, and I thought it's kind of nicer because it's more of a compliment to what you probably don't have in your cabinet already versus everyone's got the big Bubba type mugs and the Yeti type mugs. So this is something that might pique people's interest because it might not be what they normally think of. And to say, it'd be cute to come with like a little pour over espresso or something like that. So I liked it because it was cleaner and simpler than the other ones. I think it would look really slick with a good engraving on it and whatnot. So sorry, I'm the 12th angry juror. So
No, I think that's the whole point of this. Like, I think that's awesome that your opinion is different and you like point out some things we didn't think of.
Yeah, it's great for tea. It'd be the perfect little like, especially because for me, I have tiny hands, so it was the right size for me. So I think for any kind of heavy female organization, mom type thing, this would be a great, you know, gift that way. As long as there's instruction for the lid.
Cool.
Perfect. All right, so mixed reviews. So I think we'll go with this one next. Rhonda, I saw you just drinking out of yours.
I was.
Yeah.
It is my favorite. I brought it today in honor of our discussion.
Nice.
Oh, good.
What do you like about it?
All right. So, it hit my temperature range really well for me. It didn't stay too hot. It didn't chill off too quick. I can leave the lid off for a little bit, cool it down, and then put the lid on, and it kind of keeps it at that temperature. I liked that it had, I'm gonna get close to the camera here, this little like ridge, because my fingers just like fit perfectly in it to hang on to it. It was big enough to hold obviously I must drink a lot of coffee in the morning. It's a big issue for me. It held all my coffee. And I just thought it was really easy to use.
Yeah, I don't really have any complaints about this one. It's pretty solid to use. I thought the slide on the lid was, you know, pretty firm without being too hard or too loose to open or close. And like Sarah said, the grip is really nice. I just used it for water only, so it did keep the water, you know, at least fairly chilled throughout the whole time I was drinking it. So it was pretty solid cup.
Same here. I had some good feedback. same thing. The grip was nice. That one is actually ended up at my husband's office. He's now taken that as his. It's his favorite. So I think for him, he uses it for mostly for coffee, ice, and hot. It was very easy to kind of, take the top off. It washed well. I think he said for him, and we switched off on different pieces, but I want to make sure that everybody used something and I could get all the feedback. And it just fit nicely in the car for him, and it was appealing. I think, for him, he thought, it was a nice kind of traveling mug, and for him, he likes a lot of coffee, so I think for him, he felt he was getting what he wanted in there. So, yep. That was probably my second to the top favorite out of all the mugs. Yeah.
I liked this one as well, and I don't really have much more to say about it. I thought that drinking out of it was fine. I like the size of it. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of my hand, but I thought the slider, the open and close slider, I liked how it was a different color. I thought that was a cute touch. So I did like that it matched the tumbler. Sorry.
Okay, so you all, I'm the opposite again because I like the other one. You can tell. For me,
Yeah,
it
you're
was,
a troublemaker.
I know. Got small hands. It was too big of a cup for me, and it didn't, like when we talked about the first cup, the slider does not pass the tipping test. Like you tip it a little and it gushes everywhere, and I drive terribly in DC, and so that's always bad in my car. We have waterproof hats now, but it's bad. So for me, I just didn't like it. It kind of looked like the one you get at the gas station. So if I was to buy this, people would kind of be like, I can buy this at Wawa. So for me, it wasn't as exciting because especially the trend is kind of more of the powder coated anyways. So, it was the right color, but it was just too big for me personally. So it'd be hard to ship too. It's bigger to ship. So
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all like, oh yeah, those shipping costs.
yep,
Oh,
Yes.
smaller one. You're all coming around to the smaller one now, aren't you? Easier to ship.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say for all the lids in general is that some of them I was worried that water was going to get trapped between the slider and parts of the lid and eventually mold or get gross. I think that would come from like long-term use and like seeing how it dries out. But that did cross my mind on a couple of them. That water looked like it was getting stuck in the layers.
Yeah, I thought the slider on this one was easier, so it might be good for the senior population because some of them are really difficult sometimes to work, but I thought this would be good for that. And I don't know, the size may be a little bit big for that, maybe a little bit heavy, but it was okay. I just wonder how this will hold up in the dishwasher without the powder coating. So
yeah.
because I know you're not supposed to put them in the dishwasher, but we all put them in the dishwasher.
I didn't do that till after testing. I was like, all of them said no to the dishwasher, which if I was in the store, I wouldn't pick that because of that sole reason.
Right.
Then after I did my initial test, I threw everything in the dishwasher. No lids, though I still wasn't brave enough to put the lid.
No, that's part of my test. It's like it has to be dishwasher safe. I mean, I'm not gonna hand wash it all. So
Yeah.
And I think there's also the expectation if there's a closer that it's going to be leak proof and splash proof. And I think that's a big consideration is when you kind of see that you think it's going to be more airtight and they never are. Even the Yetis aren't like, sealing and stuff. But I think when push comes to shove, if you like, oh, I got this for free, it doesn't really seal well, I'm going to toss it. So that would be my, concern is people might say, oh, I can't take this in the car without spilling on myself. This one's going to go. So,
yeah. This one did at least seal around the lid here. It's just this part here is what I have problems with leaking. And sometimes I've had them where they don't seal well here, especially when the push on, like the screw on usually does better. But yeah, this one definitely leaked around the slider part.
I guess I'm so used to that part leaking on all my coffee cups.
They just don't make things like they used to.
Okay, well, let's do this blue one. I really like this color and I like the design on it. Mine didn't come with a lid.
Mine either. Well, they did. They got broken in shipping.
Yeah.
Right then, I had no lids.
So y'all have to tell us about the lids on these.
I actually was just crazy about with the lid because when you tilt this in your hand just slightly, the closure actually moves with the tilt. So like that, I'm a run out the door with a bunch of stuff in my arms, and I want to be able to put my mug in my elbow and kind of carry it. So it's going to tilt this, and that always makes me nervous. So that's kind of the first thing I want to make sure is that my lid closure is actually going to stay in place, and this one it doesn't. So.
And the lid felt like a little weird. It was like deeper than the other ones. It was kind of awkward to drink out of this one. Because I definitely agreed that I like the style, like a little bit of design built in there, but the lid was really weird to drink out of. And I like little cups, so for me to say that, you know. It wasn't the size issue, it was the placement of the mouth plate was weird.
Oh.
Always to be the opposite of Aaron here. Again, it was too small for me. And it almost kept stuff too hot. Like it was my first one I tried, so I was very detail oriented in my notes here. And I filled it at 7 a.m. and it was still hot until 8:30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's great. Again, like if I was going to pack it for later in the day because I had back-to-back meetings or something, awesome. But when I first wake up and I'm ready for that round of coffee, it held the heat a little too much.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Was I the only? Sorry.
Sorry.
Was I the only one? Was my lid broken, or did everybody else have the same issue with that lid closure kind of sliding?
Yeah, I had the same issue.
Okay, I thought maybe mine was broken or something. Okay.
I didn't have a problem with the lid on this one. I really like the design, but I think it is too small. Yeah, I tried water in this. I tried some juice in this. We didn't do anything hot. Yeah, it's just too small. Kind of for what. Yeah, it wasn't one of my favorites. So, but I didn't have any issues with the top at all. I mean, it was pretty firm and it didn't really slide. It was easy to get off. It washed well. Once again, I just think it's a little too small for me.
I actually, if it had a better lid, I think I would have liked this size. I put some juice in it, and like Sarah said, it was cold for like 45 minutes later. It was still just as cold as when I put it in, it seemed like. So depending on what you're using it for, I think it could be a pretty good mug. And for its size, I think having the texture on it definitely helped versus the white one. I think having that little bit of texture made it feel a little more comfortable in my hand versus the smallness of the white one. So I think I would use it if it had a better lid on my end. Guess I noticed the same thing that Casey said, the lid just kept opening and closing every time I tilted it back and forth. So.
Well, and when you tilt that up to drink and it closes and you can
right.
I've had that happen a lot.
Yeah. Well, the slider part actually came off. I thought this is the one that the slider part came off in the dishwasher and melted. So our lid is now unusable. So, yeah, doesn't clean any dishes, but it melts pieces. So.
So this one just had lid issues all the way around. Like.
Yeah, the two we have, they just arrived broken. One of them was that little piece that broke off of yours, Aaron, and then another one, like the whole thing was just broken.
Ironically enough, on mine, how does the lid function? Easy. That's what I wrote down. Because it moved around so much, I was like, oh, look at this. This is great.
So what you're saying is it's a crapshoot.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'm impressed with the lid. All right. So our final piece, this big boy. And I will let you guys just kind of take it away and see what you thought about it.
I'll start. So I'll probably be different than everyone, right? No. So this one, I don't like how every time I would take a drink, the liquid would then go into the sides of the lid. I don't know if everyone else felt that, but that just irritated the heck out of me. And I was like, I'm done with this one. So
I wrote that down too, and I thought it just kept stuff way too hot. It was still lukewarm at 11 a.m. Like my first round of coffee. It was just way too hot for me.
Yeah, I tried that spinning lid and I was like, oh, this might be cool. And then, like Aaron said, you know, you take a drink and it goes over. And then I did hand wash it, and like trying to make sure you get the soap out of that center part took a little longer. So I can imagine, you know, depending on how powerful your dishwasher is, if you were to wash it too, you may not get all the soap out. You may have to hand wash it constantly just to make sure. Or like somebody brought up earlier, you know, it might mold or mildew if you don't get everything out of that center spinning crevice. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I drink iced coffee, so I'll put my iced coffee in here this morning, which has milk in it. And then I turned it up to see if it was going to leak. And now I have this coffee milk mixture in between this lid. And I'm like, I don't think I can clean that out. Like, it's just, that grosses me out knowing there's milk in there. So, but I will say the lid from this mug also fits this mug if y'all get desperate.
Oh.
Because I put them together wrong out of the dishwasher. But yeah, this lid, I do not like this lid at all. But I love the cup. Like I still have ice in here from 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't have too much more to add. I mean, I like the cup itself too, and I agree about the top. Actually, you know, I actually was driving and I picked it up and I forgot I was supposed to spin it. And at one point I thought, oh my God, the coffee's gonna come. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this is too much for me to be like trying to think about. Yeah, it was okay. Like I said too, I do like the mug. I like the shape of the mug. And the coffee I like hot coffee, so it was hot. It did stay pretty heated. But yeah, the top is weird. The top is very strange. Yeah.
This would have to be a water cup for me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I like the mug itself, the lid I'm not crazy about. I don't like the noise. It kind of screeches ever so slightly, which I'm just weird. I don't like to hear nails on a chalkboard sounds, and it just kind of gives me that sensation. So I'm not too crazy when it comes to sliding to open it, but I think overall it was an okay mug. Just don't like the lid.
Good.
Lid issues today.
Yeah.
And I would say, while the silver and blue one kind of seems like you could buy it, you know, we mentioned earlier at, you know, any gas station or wherever, this one, for kind of being somewhat of an equal size, might look a little nicer or something that you wouldn't see every day. So the mug itself is, you know, I think has some promise, but they just need to put maybe just a standard lid. I think maybe they overthought the lid part.
Yeah.
You guys, Brittany and Rhonda, when you order stuff, since the lid from the blue cup fits this cup, can you mix and match, or is it like a set thing?
Yeah.
It's already set.
Yeah. But we do have other suppliers that carry this style with the kind of whatever you call that. So it might be worth it for us to order some from other suppliers and see what the lids are like, because we've got a variety of suppliers that carry the same style. And it is cool. It even looks cool when you twist it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it made it easy to grip too, you know, hold on
Yeah.
to with just a little bit of texture on it. So.
Well, for everyone except for Aaron's tiny hands.
Not that tiny. Come on. But yeah.
You said it. So which one was everyone's favorite? We
Orange.
know Aaron, blue and silver, orange. We know Aaron liked the white.
Well, I like orange best, but the white's my favorite hot drink one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was probably the orange.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have to say the orange is my favorite just due to its height. I like the orange, but I do like the blue mug with the blue slider on the lid. I liked that one too.
Cool. Yeah.
This one will probably be my new car water cup because it does keep it cold a really long time. And I like that I can put a straw in it, but nothing else but water.
One thing I really liked about the straw that came with whichever cup, I liked that it was firm instead of like the rubberish material, because I seem to be like a 5-year-old and flick my coffee everywhere when I have like the rubber straw. So, and yes, I drink coffee through my straw from time to time. And so I did really like that about the straw, is that I didn't make a mess.
Yeah.
No.
My only complaint with the plastic straws is that over time they start to like chip on the ends, and like break off. So I don't mind them. I just find that I have to replace them more frequently than the silicone ones.
And I really liked the big one you sent.
The what?
The really big straw you sent.
Yeah.
I liked that because most of the silicone ones are like really skinny.
Oh, yeah. Was that the gray one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think oh yeah, because the silicone is harder to wash over time. Like they get like stuck. One will chip, but then one will get gunky because the silicone
Yeah.
is away. So it's kind of, you just have to replace straws if you're using them. So
Yeah.
like
I have one of those brushes that go down in the silicone straws.
That's why it's nice to have a clear straw so you can see when it's gunky. So at least you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, $1 million idea, clear silicone straws.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you all enjoyed it, and
Oh, yeah.
it was nice getting the feedback. We'll put them all 5 into a presentation and send them to you just so that you can see like price wise, like they were all kind of in the same price range. But we didn't want you to see that ahead of time because we didn't want to change your opinions of them. So that way you can just see like where they fall price wise and all that kind of stuff. And see.
And all the different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's worth a couple extra bucks to have the one you like, or will you settle for the other one, based on price?